Chapter 4 by me. No, that's so corny, but I can't help it. I didn't want to believe what he said, even with the image of myself in the mirror still fresh in my mind. I stare at him in shock as I say, "You have to be mistaken. I am not some alien hybrid. I am human. Look at me. I'm not the one you want." Captain Arton nods at Zan. Zan takes out a small pad and hands it to me. On it are DNA samples, 2 of them. Zan says, "The DNA sequence on the left is the king's, and the one on the right is yours, my lady. The difference you can see are normal human DNA. But the genetic proof that show his blood runs through your veins are very apparent. You are his great-great-granddaughter. This is also why you have started to look younger and your eye color has changed. Here on Izuria, your lifespan will be much longer due to the fact that your Garlandian's genes have started to take over." I laid the pad down, thinking this can't be happening. There has to be other descendants besides me. Someone else who could be your leader. I'm not a leader. You have to find someone else, I said. Captain Arton answers me. I have looked everywhere on Earth. Only one of his sons had success in having children. That was your great-grandfather. Your parents who died in a car accident had only one child. That was you. You're the only choice, princess. You must take the throne and become our leader. The Arthenians see that we have no queen, and due to that, their laws say our land and people are for the taking. If you do not, we will be enslaved by the Arthenians. We are already at war with them again. Our only hope is you." I look at him saying, "Okay, so say I believe this, that I'm his heir. But still, the fact remains that I know nothing about being a queen or making peace with the Arthenians. Surely there is someone who would be better at leading your people than me. Like you. You have to be better suited for the job than me. So just return me to Earth. Then come back here and lead your people." Captain Arton smiles. "I'm flattered at your compliment, but I am a soldier and not part of the royal family. It is not my place. It is yours. This is your home now. The sooner you come to terms with this, the better it will be for all of us. Now, let us eat. Tomorrow my wife will start your training." With that, the captain takes a seat back at the table. We eat in silence. An hour later, Zan and the guards escort me back to my room. I stand there feeling more alone than ever before. I curl up in the middle of the bed, shaken and tired, without even the strength to undress. I cry myself to sleep, thinking this is a nightmare that I wish I would wake up from soon. I awake to Sarah and Zara hurrying into my room. Zara suddenly exclaims, "You didn't sleep in your dress all night, did you?" "Oh, you poor thing. You've been crying too," Sarah sighs. I can imagine the shock of learning being a princess and heir to the throne. They were both busying themselves around the room, Zara moving in and out of the bathroom, while Sarah was looking through the clothes in the closet, neither giving me a chance to speak or think. Sarah looks at me, smiling. "Today, Lady Arton will begin teaching you everything you need to know about your new life here with us." Zara chimed in from the bathroom. "And those nasty Artenians." Several hours later, I was dressed and we were walking out to meet Lady Arton. They led me to a huge garden. Sarah had explained that it had been a cargo room, but Lady Arton had convinced her husband in allowing her to have it for a garden. Sarah smiles at me. "Go on. You will be able to find her by yourself. Just stay on the path. Don't be frightened. Your guards will be right outside." With that, they both turned and walked back out the door. I turned around, looking down the path between the overgrowth of flowers and trees I had never seen before now. Walking slowly down the path, I come around a corner, finding a woman tending to a strange-looking purple vine with huge blood-red flowers on it. The vine starts to shake as I approach her. "Shh, there. There's no need for that. It's just our princess." "Shh," she continues, cooing to the vine until it stills. After readjusting one of the vines, she turns to me. Unable to contain my curiosity, I ask, "What type of plant is that? Is it some kind of animal hybrid?" Lady Artin nods. "It is called a whispering vine. It is very intelligent. Our children here on Israel have them as pets. They can live out of the ground for some time before having to be returned to the earth. The shaking is their way to alert one to danger or show that they're upset about something." Lady Artin laughs. "Forgive me. I haven't introduced myself. I'm Flora Artin. You can call me Flora. I tend to go on and on about my plants, but I believe there are more important things to discuss." I smile at her. I don't mind. I find it fascinating. Part of me wished she would keep talking about her plants and not this nightmare I was in. She starts down another path, motioning me to follow her. A small clearing appears with a blanket laid out with food on it. Lady Flora smiles, saying, "I thought something familiar would be a welcoming sight to you. Shall we sit?" I sat down on the blanket saying, "Thank you." She smiles. I had the chef prepare some human dishes. My husband, Bruce, had told me you did not eat very much the other night. I gave a little nod. I didn't have much of an appetite. After we ate, she began talking about the Arthenians and how they came to live in Israel. The Arthenians are very alien in their appearance, as well as being taller, faster, and stronger than any Garlanians. With light silver skin and dark piercing eyes that could cause fear in the most bravest of men. They had traveled to this planet in hopes of making a new home for their people. The king of Arthenians explained to the Garlanians that their world had been made uninhabitable due to war. Since their world had been a water planet, they only wished to live on and in the seas of Israel. The Arthenians seemed sincere about living in peace with the Garlanians. During that time, the Garlanian people were very peaceful beings, so they allowed the Arthenians to stay. After some time, she looks at me. "I'm sorry, this must be overwhelming to you. One night you go to sleep safe in your own bed, then the next you wake up to find your whole life has changed. I want you to know we weighed our options before taking you, my dear." I sat there tightly, holding my glass. I sighed, saying, "It's just, all of this is so unreal. I feel like I'm living a nightmare. I just want it to end. How am I supposed to be a queen, the leader of your people? My people?" I laugh a little hysterically, saying, "I'm just a waitress," covering my hand with hers. Lady Fleur replies, "I can't imagine what you're going through, but I want you to know that I wish to be your friend. I will try to help you adjust as much as I can. I will teach you what you need to know to assume the throne. In time, you will adjust to your new home here with us." She paused, motioning if I wanted more tea. She didn't make me feel more at ease. She continued, "The reason for why we are still on this ship is due to the fact that we were attacked by the Arthenians. When we started to re-enter Israel, we landed here in this forest miles outside of our city. The reason they have not found us yet is due to a shield that is concealing us from everyone. I ask, so that's why no one was in the lab when I awoke? Lady Flora nods. Plus, you were placed in the lab that has weapons installed in it. None of our enemies would have been able to get down there to you. Anyway, we only have a few days before you will have to begin to travel to our city. The Ardenians are camped around the city and are fighting to get inside, but they have underestimated us. We are no longer the weak beings they once saw us as. I look at her. So, how are we going to get into the city? Are we going to fly the ship there, right? I know before she answered that I was not going to like what she had to say. Lady Flora's smile faded as she said, I'm sorry, but I wish it was that simple. I believe you, along with a small group of warriors, will have to make your way to the city. My husband will be going with you as well. After you have taken the throne, you will then have to speak with the leader of the Ardenians and make a new peace treaty. That is why you need to learn as much as you can about them. I did not say anything about anything, but just sat there. I feared things were probably going to get a lot worse than better anytime soon. Later that night, outside my room, Lady Flora gives me a type of virtual book. She says, this will help you understand the Ardenians a bit better and your people as well. It is like what you would call a movie. After showing me how to use it, she says, I will see you tomorrow. Sweet dreams, my dear. Giving me a motherly hug, she turns, leaving me alone. I enter my room feeling lost and unsure about everything. I slip into my night clothes and sit on the bed with the book. Laying it flat on the bed, I then touch the button that turns it on. Instead of pages, miniature people appear on top of the pad. They begin to move around and to talk. They look so real, I try to pick one of them up. The little person stands in my hand, a completely solid object, until I move it from over the pad, and the person disappears. I exclaim, wow. I pick up the pad, looking under it and wondering how it works. Shaking my head, I set the pad back on the bed and turn it back on. Turning up the volume, I watch as the story begins. As the days pass, I was learning more about the beings I was with. Besides what I was learning from Lady Flora, the captain also had his second in command, Ethan, begin teaching me some self-defense moves. I'm gonna pause. Wait, let's see, how much more is there? All right, I'll finish this chapter. I'll finish this chapter and then I'll stop. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, let's see, where were we? Okay, self-defense moves. Captain Arton wanted to be sure that I could defend myself in case no one was there to protect me. Luckily, this wasn't something new to me because I had taken some self-defense classes on Earth. That was new. What was new was the fact that I was now more agile and stronger than what any human could be. This was proving more to me that I was part Garlanian. I soon learned that Captain Arton has devised a plan for a small group, including me, to travel through the forest to the city. The path would hopefully take us around most of the Ardenians' camps. Towards today, Sarah and Zara was in my room rushing about, packing the bags that I would be taking with me. I was already dressed in a black shirt, pants, and boots. The items had the ability to blend into the wearer's surroundings. Zara says, well, I think that's it. Oh, please, do be careful, my princess. She stands there, wringing her hands, and wipes a tear from her cheek. Sarah takes my hand as Zara picks up the pack. Sarah says, You must remember that the Arthenians are very dangerous. Never let your guard down in front of one. Then Zara says, we will walk with you to the cargo bay. We walk in silence to the cargo bay along with my personal guards. Once there, Zara and Sarah give me a final hug, saying their goodbyes and wishing me safe journey. I stand quietly watching the small group of tough-looking men who are preparing to leave on our journey. None of them speak to me except for Ethan. As he lays out a map on the table, he begins to go over the route for the 100th time. By now, I could probably get there by myself.